Um, Part of change is also with this insight, let's say, is this need to do routine self-evaluations. Yes, it's very necessary. You become your own therapist when you call yourself out on crap. You need to call yourself out on crap. You do. You have to. Um, if you don't, you're just that group that is screwed and doesn't know it, or that group that is screwed and is like basically okay with it. Remember, there was a group that is screwed and they don't realize it, and the group that's screwed and they know it. You don't want to be those two. So having routine self-evaluations excludes you from that. You have to call yourself out, but that's not easy. That's why you have to be willing to be vulnerable. Okay, you can do that on a daily, weekly basis, whatever it is. Monthly, probably not recommended. It's not enough investments into what you're doing to keep things cohesive. It's like trying to go to work once every 4 weeks and expecting a payday. This is a grind. So you're doing a routine self-evaluation routinely is expected. And what that consists of is basically calling yourself out. But you're calling yourself out on like a few different ways. First is you have to take an inventory of your priorities. What are your priorities? Put them on paper. Be honest with yourself. Everything counts. YouTube, video games, church, friend, whatever it is, write your priorities down. Second, write a list of what does your day really consist of. But don't look at it from a judgment perspective. Look at it from a concrete behavioral perspective. What are you really doing? Write that down. The third part is knowing the inconsistency of the two groups. What are my priorities? And what am I doing? What is my behavior getting me? And there should be a disparity between those two groups. And that disparity should lead to some kind of a confusion. Because your priority, if A, B, and C is your priority, the next group should also be A, B, and C. But sometimes it's X, Y, and Z. That third group is going to be the disparity because your priorities are school, family, and church. That's your priorities. However, your behaviors are boyfriend, video games, and sleeping. That is really what you're doing. Boyfriend, sleeping, and video games. So you really have to look at the disparity, which is the third group, the third list, which is, holy crap, my behavior is not doing what my priority list is saying. So the third group is really now rearranging and what is really your behavior giving you? Confusion. Your priorities in column 1 should be what your behavior is giving you in column 2 versus what you really think you're getting. And that's the confusion in column 3 because you think you're doing what your priorities are really are indicating. That is usually not the case. And that's what you really have to be comfortable with, is calling yourself out through those routine self-evaluations and making the adjustments like a feedback system. Priorities, what am I doing and what is that getting me? And that's usually confusion. The bigger the gap, the greater the confusion. The smaller the gap between the first two fields or lists, the less confusion and more harmony individual experience. You're not perfect, you're not a robot. This is not what this is about, so don't be dismissive. Far from that. This is not about being a robot. That's just being dismissive. You need to take this path of your journey seriously. So I'm telling you, being dismissive is a very big hurdle to growing, which was talked about in another episode. All right.